physical condition. Even mom's levels of stress have been shown to directly impact the unborn baby. So if you're pregnant, eat sensibly, don't drink or smoke, and take care of yourself. After your baby's born, what you feed her is critical.
The first thing I, as a pediatrician, would encourage a mother to do is to breastfeed her baby. And there's no doubt about the fact that the studies show that breastfeeding is way ahead of artificial feeding. Beyond that, if it's not possible to breastfeed, then we have to find a formula for the baby that substitutes for it as nearly as possible. Move slowly up through the addition of solid food.
As your child develops, she'll also develop her own tastes and eating styles.
That's great.
One of the things that mothers think is that babies are little machines and they eat just on a schedule and they're always the same. That's not true. Sometimes their appetite is off. Don't panic. Wait till tomorrow. It'll all straighten out.
Oh, no.
Not better.
Safety is important. From the moment your baby leaves the hospital, proper car seats are a must. And as your baby gets more mobile, child-proofing your house becomes critical. If you have questions about this or any issue, ask your healthcare provider. As your baby grows, she'll help you with everyday issues like feeding, immunizations, and what's normal for your baby's overall development. So regular visits are important, all throughout your child's growing years.
Oh, you're so good.
Okay, when I say the word discipline, what comes to mind?
New parents have a lot of questions about discipline.
To teach?
And there are a lot of myths and misconceptions.
Rules?
Yeah, I was gonna say restrictions.
The first concern some parents have is about spoiling. Can you spoil an infant by picking her up when she cries? By holding her too much? By seeing that she gets what she needs as soon as she needs it?
There are a lot of people who have the false idea that you can spoil a newborn infant. And in fact, you can't. When a newborn cries, when a newborn wants parental attention, it's for a reason. They want to be held, they want to be fed, they want to be made warm, they want to be rocked, they want something. It is a need, and it is a critical need.
Babies' young brains are just too immature to have any notion of manipulating their parents. In fact, science has proven that it's much, much better to respond quickly when your baby cries. It helps her to begin to manage her world and herself.
Any time for bed.
When a baby is born, it's not very good at regulating what we call its internal states. It's not very good at regulating its sleep and wake cycles. In fact, one of the major roles that a parent plays early on in this first 6 weeks is helping structure and organize the child's sleeping and waking cycles.
Good night, baby boy.
Hey, big guy.
These are the first lessons parents can teach.
Sleep tight.
For example, at night, if your baby's crying lightly, you can let him go for a little to see if he can calm himself down. He may not really be fully awake and might soon fall back to sleep. If he persists, come in and comfort him, helping him to learn to get back to sleep himself.
If they learn these smooth patterns of regulation where every time they get a little bit distressed, there's this response and they get soothed. They get hungry and they get fed. They get tired and they go to sleep. They get cold and they get warm. They build in smooth, regulated patterns that will provide the framework for all of the rest of their future emotional, behavioral, cognitive development.
When you respond to her needs, your baby will learn that her world is safe, predictable, and loving.
I want cookie.
I said we're gonna have lunch in a little while, so you'll wait.
No.
As your child gets older, he'll start to test the limits you set for him. This is perfectly normal and natural.
Peter!
Okay, all right. Tell you what.
I need the pillow.
In fact, you should worry if they don't show some spunk and independence.
Can't grab, all
I
right?
didn't
But a
grab.
child also looks for limits.
They want to know their boundaries, how far they can go. And they're going to push you until you find out.
Predictable boundaries that can help him stay under control. Your job is to help your child understand why limits are needed.
I feel that you can set rules for your kids, but let them figure stuff out for themselves.
As they grow, they can eventually begin to set limits on their own. When you do have to discipline, be firm but gentle.
My father used to use a razor strap, and spanking was a first result. It wasn't the last.
What my mom did, she would tell us to meet her in the basement.
Never ever spank, hit, or shake your child. It could injure him physically and certainly emotionally.
A slap in the face was really humiliating to me. That's what bothered me more than anything else.
What I'd like to do now is go around the room and find out what you guys learned from the experience of being spanked by your parents.
I don't remember learning anything from them.
Hurt was what I got out of it the most.
I guess sometimes I felt rejected.
I just remember being very misunderstood and thinking how unpredictable they could be sometimes. Look at those
In
unpredictable
fact,
big people.
physical punishment can leave scars that last a lifetime.
I wanted to break that cycle for my children.
A few effective techniques you can use:
Okay, I'm going to take this away.
redirecting your child's attention,
All right. I'll tell you what, you know what I want to do? Can you sing me a song?
Yes.
Okay, I want a song.
No, I want to only pop.
No.
limiting choices,
You can have juice or you can have milk. What would you like?
You were very naughty to bite.
and timeouts.
Right over there.
And if you feel like you're losing control, don't hesitate to take time out yourself.
Okay, I'll give Christiana this one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Remember, discipline should really be all about helping your child learn to regulate himself,
Thank you.
and about love.
Yeah, we forgive people. Mary, you go give them a hug, too. Yes, we forgive you.
Making your child feel good about you and herself.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephen.
We all want children who feel good about themselves. And scientists have found that a strong sense of self is the basis for healthy development. What can we do to help our children achieve good self-esteem? Well, first and foremost, we can recognize that every child is unique right from the start. Even newborns are distinct individuals with their own personalities and preferences. Parents should discover who their children are. Then value that person, no matter how different she might be from what you expected.
Atta girl. Come on.
Encourage your child to explore the world and express herself.
Say hi. Oh, no. All right. Hi.
Praise your child,
Milo, I'm impressed.
not with empty words, but with real concrete feedback.
You're doing a very good job, Brooke. Thank you for
Tell her exactly what you find so wonderful.
Were mommy socks? Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much. You've been very helpful this morning.
Hold that for me. Thank you.
Respect your child.
Go ahead.
Then he'll learn to respect not only himself, but others as well. Many of you may soon be going back to work.
Bye-bye.
Separating from your baby, trusting her to someone else,
Bye-bye, Jay.
these are very difficult things for any new parent. One way to ease your mind is by making sure that your child is in a good environment. What do you look for in childcare?
Red, orange.
Whatever the type of care you choose, there are certain universals that signal quality.
It's a puppet.
The first and foremost is people.
The caregiver who said, I don't spoil my children, is certainly not the one that you would want to leave your infant or toddler with. You want someone who says, you know, I believe in routines, but I also believe that I must play with the baby and we must talk together, and I have books that babies can read, so that it's someone who really has taken an interest in what do we know about young children, how do they learn, and what do they need.
A good provider should ideally be well-trained with references, someone who understands children, and who's committed to being the consistent presence your baby needs. Because caregiver and child can form real attachments. Grandparents and neighbors can be great caregivers, as long as they take the responsibility as seriously as any good professional. What's most important? People who care for children should be people who care about children.
Who's in here?
Getting right down to your baby's level. Warm, responsive, sensitive to his cues. Your baby's environment should be clean and safe. The food he's given, healthy and nutritious. And studies show that if there are no more than 3 or 4 babies for each adult, your child will get better care.
For this particular care.
A good provider should also do everything possible to encourage the bond between you and your child.
What's up, Shorty?
And urge you to drop in at any time, unannounced.
There's Mommy. You all set to go?
And parents, make sure you stay involved.
Hi.
Studies show that it's better for your baby and your own peace of mind as well. Because how you feel is more important for your child than you might think. One last word for you new mothers and fathers about the most important person in your baby's life, you. To take care of your baby, you have to take care of yourself too. If you work, try not to fall victim to the super parent syndrome.
See you tonight.
Make sure you have energy left over for your baby when you get home.
Hi there. This way with the ball.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. From friends, neighbors, relatives, even community groups.
Think about what the baby might need.
And parenting classes are a great way to learn about your baby. Take advantage of them. It's just like any other subject. The more you learn about babies, the better parents you'll be. What's most important? Try to give your baby your best. Every child needs someone who's in love with them. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself, because there's no such thing as a perfect parent.
Learning to parent is learning from failures. So you first learn from failing and then saying, oh, well, what did I do wrong? Now I'll try it again, and getting it right.
The first 3 years of life provide those experiences which organize all of the critical parts of the brain, which will allow the child through the whole rest of their life to think, to have feelings, to communicate, to move, to laugh, to love, to dance. All of the things that we do as human beings, their root capabilities are built in the first 3 years of life.
I hope this video has given you a better understanding of what goes on with your child during those most important first 3 years, and what you can be doing to give your child the foundation he or she needs to reach their full potential. Remember, now's the time to take the time with your child, because all those cliches are true. They're only young once, they grow up so fast, and one I hope becomes a cliche, the first years last forever.
I am your hope. I am your chance. I am your child.